Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Queens. I haven't created a video in a couple of days now. There's been a lot of new news coming out, so it's been really exciting. I've just been super busy. So BTC price is still hovering like 10,000. I checked a little bit ago, 10,100. So it's just kind of hanging out. There's a lot of news going on. I'm not going to really do a video about that. I'm just going to kind of talk about a new project with Ripple. It's not new, but I haven't talked about it here. But it's pretty interesting, so I wanted to talk about what it is and have some new news on that. But first, I wanted to update again about Bakkt, just kind of touch back, keep up to date on what's going on with them. So here it is, Tom Lee backed to improve trust with institutions to crypto in 3 days. BTC and cryptocurrency will gain trust from the incoming launch of institutional trading platform Bakkt, a well-known analyst has said. More praise for Bakkt. In a tweet on September 19th, Fundstrat Global Advisors co-founder Tom Lee joined the increasing number of Bitcoin figures bullish about Bakkt's impact on the space. The platform goes live on September 23rd and will first offer physical Bitcoin futures. Investors who have been able to deposit funds since September 6 will take delivery of payouts exclusively in BTC. The remaining days to launch have so far been characterized by lackluster progress for Bitcoin markets, which dropped below $10,000 once again. Now recovering, BTC prices could nonetheless shift considerably once more in the short term. Lee wrote, I am very positive on Bakkt and its ability to improve trust with institutions to crypto. Bitcoin price tanked before BTC futures rollover date. Responses generated a further theory about current Bitcoin price weakness, which centered on Thursday's changeover day for CME Group's own Bitcoin futures. As Cointelegraph reported, futures expiration and rollover dates have historically exerted pressure on Bitcoin markets. September also saw a quieter entry into futures by cryptocurrency exchange Binance. Launching last week, figures nonetheless revealed significant open interest on $150 million, even while the product was still trading in invite-only mode. Open interest in CME's futures dropped to a 4-month low at the same time as Bitcoin's price performance failed to excite. It's just a little bit of an update there. We'll see. This market has been crazy with all of the fluctuation in price. I mean, even though it's not going very far in one direction, it's just kind of hovering, and so we'll see how that plays into a lot of these other projects and exchanges and what they want to do. For right now, so I'm going to just talk about what is Ripple. This is a little bit long, but it's everything you need to know. This is a pretty good article, pretty in-depth, and then some new update on this coin. So what is Ripple? Everything you need to know. The first thing to know is that Ripple is both a platform and a currency. The Ripple platform is an open source protocol which is designed to allow fast and cheap transactions. Unlike Bitcoin, that was never intended to be a simple payment machine, Ripple is definitely going to rule all the international transactions worldwide. Pretty ambitious, but who knows? Maybe currency exchanges will disappear in a few years like Blockbuster stores did. The platform has its own currency, XRP, but also allows everybody to use the platform to create their own via RippleNet. What is RippleNet? RippleNet is a network of institutional payment providers such as banks and money services businesses that use solutions developed by Ripple to provide a frictionless experience to send money globally. Let's give an example. Firstly, Mr. Jones lives in New York and has a chocolate box he doesn't need. He is very interested to watch a baseball game, but doesn't have a ticket. Secondly, Ms. Smith lives in Los Angeles and has a rare stamp she would like to give away for a chocolate box. Lastly, we have Mr. Brown, who lives in Alaska and is looking very much for a rare stamp, and a ticket for a baseball game in New York. In our current system, these people would probably never find each other and remain with their not valuable valuables. But in Ripple world, they could say, hey, I have a chocolate, I want baseball, and the system will look for a shortest and cheapest combination to make it happen. Moreover, the platform allows to make payments in any currency, including Bitcoin, and have a minimal internal transaction commission of 0.0001. Yes, that's the right amount of zeros. The only reason it's not free is to prevent DDoS attacks. XRP is a token used for representing the transfer of value across the Ripple network. The main purpose of XRP is to be a mediator for both cryptocurrencies and fiat exchanges. The best way to describe XRP is a joker, not the creepy Batman enemy, but the card that can be any other card. If you want to exchange dollars to euro, it can be dollar with dollars and euros with euros to minimize the commission. As highlighted above, the transaction cost on Ripple is 0.00001. An interesting fact, after the transaction, the amount of 0.00001 disappears from the platform and can't be replenished. So with every transaction, the world becomes 0.00001 poorer. It is designed that way to prevent spammers' attacks. The protocol as a working prototype was created way back in 2004, but the real history starts in 2013 when Jed Caleb, the creator of the eDonkey network, invited a bunch of world rank investors to invest in Ripple Labs. Who are Ripple Labs founders? Chris Larsen. Chris Larsen is an angel investor, business executive, and a privacy activist considered to be the richest person in cryptocurrency. He's best known for co-founding several startups in the field of online financial services, starting with an online mortgage lender, Elon Bank, in 1996. Jed McCaleb is a well-known programmer and entrepreneur. He co-founded several crypto startups, including Ripple, Stellar, eDonkey, Overnet, as well as a cryptocurrency exchange, Mt. Gox. He sold his share, and the platform was recoded way before the infamous hack, which at its prime was handling over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions worldwide. And this chart talks a little bit about who are Ripple Labs investors. If you wanted to look through that. What is the Ripple Protocol Consensus Algorithm, RPCA? Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, Ripple doesn't have a blockchain. A cryptocurrency without a blockchain may sound pretty strange. If it doesn't have a blockchain, how does it verify transactions and make sure everything is okay? For that purpose, Ripple has its own patented technology, the Ripple Protocol Consensus Algorithm, RPCA. The word consensus in the name means that if every node is in agreement with all the rest, there is no issue. Imagine there is an ancient arena with 100 wise old men, and a city needs agreement from all of them to make a decision. If everybody agree, you can start a war, end a war, rise taxes, proclaim Olympic Games, and all other sorts of interesting stuff. But if one of them doesn't, nothing will happen until we will figure out what's his problem. What is Ripple used for? Low commission currency exchange. There are many currencies that can't be directly converted to each other, so banks need to use the US dollar as a mediator. So there is a double commission, converting currency A to USD and USD to currency B. Ripple is a mediator too, but much cheaper than USD. Fast international transactions. Average transaction time is 4 seconds. Compare it to hour or more for Bitcoin and a few days for regular banking systems. Payment ecosystem. User can basically issue his own currency for fast and cheap transaction. For example, one can create a currency to buy and see vintage vinyls or action figures between the collectors. What are Ripple's benefits? Ripple was originally designed as a day-to-day payment system, so it is much more power-safe than Bitcoin. As a result, the transactions are much quicker and cheaper. Ripple has started as an official organization as its main focus is to be used by banks, so it is not a subject of multiple regulation checks as many other cryptocurrencies. Ripple has the ability to be exchanged to any currency or valuable, like gold, with a unified minimal commission. Which banks support Ripple? Santander, Axis Bank, Yes Bank, Westpac, Union Credit, NBAD, UBS. Is Ripple a good investment? Disclaimer, there is no such thing as a 100% safe investment, and each decision has its risks. In any case, it is up to you to decide. However, below are some pros and cons to help you. Pros. As highlighted above, Ripple is an official organization with the trust of many banks. It's not another blockchain startup from a no-name company. No inflation. All the tokens are initially mined and already exist. The more banks use it as their transaction platform, the higher the value of XRP. If one day all the banks decide to start using it as a unified bank currency instead of processing redundant currency exchanges, it will make a nice fortune for all the early birds who invested in Ripple. Cons. It is highly centralized. The whole idea of cryptocurrency is to avoid centralized control. As the tokens are already mined, the Ripple developers can decide when and how much to release or not to release. So it is basically like investing in a bank. In addition to centralization, today it is pretty much a monopoly as Ripple Labs owns 61% of the coins. It is open source, very smart, but still, once the code is accessible, there is a good chance many people will try to hack it. Some of them might succeed. Why is Ripple criticized? Although there is a long list of very respectable banks that are planning to use Ripple, according to the Financial Times, most of them are still on the testing stage. The few who transact real money use the platform but not the token. So perhaps banks are not that into Ripple. It can freeze your transactions. The biggest example of this is when Jed McCaleb, founder of Ripple Labs, tried to sell more than $1 million worth of Ripple. The transaction was reversed. There are rumors that Jed breached the contract, but even though the very possibility of freezing a transaction is against basic cryptocurrency principles. Ripple's future, what the experts are saying. Roman Golfi-Gibbs, the CEO and lead systems designer for Pinnacle Brilliant Systems, Inc. Ripple certainly has the potential to move up a notch in 2018, but I think it will be more likely in 2019. As the market observes more projects being coded in other algorithms such as XRP, ETH will likely take a backseat to the next big coin token. It will take some time for the markets to digest this, so I am projecting 2019 to be the likely time for it to take place. Of course, with crypto, anything can happen, so watch closely. Shidan Goran, president of Global Blockchain Technologies. Ripple is unlikely to go up by 1 or 2 notches in the cryptocurrency world in 2018, and this is the case for 3 reasons. The first reason is the sheer dollar volume that separates each of the 3 currencies in the top positions in terms of their market cap. Bitcoin is at over $191 billion, Ethereum is at over $84 billion, and Ripple is at over $35 billion. To displace Ethereum would require a deficit of about $49 billion to be closed, which is more than double Iceland's entire national GDP. The second reason is that the use cases for Ripple are mostly for the trade of assets, not for day-to-day spending. As consumer awareness of cryptocurrencies will rise significantly in 2018 and beyond, the interest of the masses will be on cryptocurrencies that can be used as currencies, not just for investment transactions. Finally, the third reason is that because Ripple cannot be bought with fiat currencies, one must purchase existing cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum to purchase XRP. This goes on to feed demand for Bitcoin and Ethereum and will only solidify their positions as the top 2 cryptocurrencies on the market. John Paul McCaffrey, Associate Director at Long Island University. Although currently there isn't a platform to exchange fiat currency for Ripple, this may change sooner than you think. Samson Williams, CSO of Ireland-based fintech firm Seedups. Though not a cryptocurrency at all, it is the child of banks, so it'll get the natural bump from the 2018 recession. Here's a little video here about it's the altcoin of the week. So let's watch. This is an old article. Start it over. You can watch it here.
Ripple is a Samantha in the bridal party. You have the bride, Bitcoin, who everyone is doting over, and in the background, you have the jealous sister-in-law, Bitcoin Cash, who is always making snide comments and trying to outshine the bride at every turn. You have Ethereum, the maid of honor, who is quite confident in her own right and seems to be happy standing alongside the bride. Then, of course, you have the rest of the bridal party, all trying their best and, hopefully, trying to get some action. Then you have Samantha. Samantha is quiet, reserved, patient, and when you ask anybody about Samantha, all they seem to be able to say is, she's kind of a basic bitch. I don't know why she's always around. Her father is, like, totally loaded and super well connected. Ugh. But let's take a closer look at Samantha, otherwise known as Ripple, otherwise known as XRP. In the past 24 hours, Ripple has seen a price surge putting at a value of over $1. This is up from a value of less than 1 cent at the beginning of 2017. XRP was created by developer Ryan Fugger, businessman Chris Larsen, and programmer Jed McCaleb, with a goal to provide
Ripple connects banks around the world and allows them to offer real-time cross-border payment services to their customers.
Secure, instant, and nearly free global financial transactions of any size with no chargebacks. Because Ripple is taking aim at the institutional market, there are some upsides and some downsides. The downside. A strong philosophy of the crypto community is taking money away from the banks and putting it in the hands of the people. So XRP gets a lot of negative feedback because of its semi-centralized bank nuzzling nature. The upside of that is that almost the entire developed world uses banks. For mainstream adoption, Ripple is kind of on a dead shot. The CEO once said it best when he said, "We are not anti-bank, we are not anti-government, and we are not anti-fiat currency." To which the crypto evangelist responded with, "Trade it!" But Samantha wasn't bothered and, out of nowhere, decided to stand up and cry, "I'm worth more than this." And a surprising amount of people started following her out. Why should you hold XRP? Because if Bitcoin is a printing press, XRP is a mechanical pencil. While it isn't as impressive or revolutionary, I can't remember the last time my friend brought a printing press to school.
Trust me. Everything's gonna be fine. very strange time in my life.
So there's just a little kind of funny video about it, but nonetheless, so it's pretty interesting. Definitely, as you get more time, research that. I'll go into other things. I want to dive deeper into Bitcoin, what the blockchain is. So I know I talked about that in like the very first video, but just kind of like going over more about it and just different projects and start talking about different altcoins and different projects that are out there and just show you guys what there is. But here's an updated article about Ripple, just kind of where it's at right now. So here we go. So Ripple avoids XRP question as it moves to dismiss securities lawsuit. Blockchain network Ripple has filed a controversial motion to dismiss a lawsuit accusing it of selling unregistered securities. In a court filing uploaded by Fortune on September 20th, lawyers representing the company against investor Bradley Sostak dismissed the claims. Part of an ongoing legal battle, Sostak says Ripple's sale of XRP in 2013 constituted an unlawful securities offering. Ripple denies this, but the case has thrown up wider concerns over the legality of Ripple's operations regarding XRP. As Cointelegraph reported, executives have refused to acknowledge the company's relationship to the token, despite their huge personal holdings and continuing sell-offs. Now, fresh suspicions are swirling after the lawyer's motion to dismiss failed to address the securities aspect of XRP at all. Because of the multiple independent grounds for dismissing this action, the court need not resolve whether XRP is a security or currency for purposes of this motion, which assumes plaintiff's allegation that XRP is a security, as section reads. The substance of the filing attracted attention from crypto-focused lawyer Jake Chervinsky. They make 12 separate arguments for dismissal of the plaintiff's claims. Not a single one squarely addresses whether XRP is an unregistered security, he summarized on Twitter on Friday. The latest developments appear to have little impact on XRP markets, with the token continuing to trade flat over the past 24 hours at just under 30 cents. So, take from that what you want. Definitely do your own research, as always. But it's a pretty cool token. I know this was something like Ashton Kutcher backed, and I heard him talk about this on some show. But yeah, so just take a look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just some updated news articles. As always, Cointelegraph has great articles. I may do some off CoinDesk next time just to kind of switch it up a little bit. But thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next video.